Hey everyone, I wanted to do a quick video about the Desmos right triangles. So I think this is what you were looking at, and you were just trying to put these triangles into categories. So they could be a 45, 45, 90 special right triangle. They could be a 30, 60, 90 special triangle. They could be a right triangle, but neither 30, 60, 90 nor 40, 40, 45, 45, 90, or it could be none of those things. So if you remember, there's a couple of things. All angles in any triangle need to add up to be 180. So this one, oops, how do I get this out? Starting with the 45, 45, 90, I'm going to put this triangle underneath it. Okay, and I know for sure that this triangle is a 45, 45, 90 because it has one angle that's 45 degrees, one angle I know that's 90 degrees, and that means that the other angle has to be 45 degrees because 45 plus 90 is 180. Okay, now let's see. What are some other easy ones we can just add? Oh, here's one. That must be a 30. Oops, how do I separate these cards? Well, there we go. This one must be a 30, 60, 90. We don't have to know, gosh darn it. We don't have to know any of the rules because we know that one side is 60 degrees, one angle I meant, one angle is 90 degrees, and that means that the other angle must be 30 degrees in order to add up to be 180 degrees. Okay, oh look, I see another easy one here on the left-hand side. Okay, that one that I just moved over there already had two 45-degree angles, and that means that the last angle must be a 90 in order for all of the angles to add up to be 180. They were trying to trick you here because if you look at this one that says 10, the left-hand side of that triangle, it says 10 root 3. That looks like one of the rules for 30, 60, 90 triangles. So it was trying to trick you there a little bit, but I know you didn't get tricked. This one, so let's look at this one. Off the top of my head, I know that this one is a 30, 60, 90, and it'll be a good one to go over the rules. So let's see if I can copy this image. And let's see if I can paste it here. Oh my gosh, cool. Now I bet I can write on this. Okay, and cool. So this is the triangle I was looking at, and this is a good one to go over those rules, which you should have in your notes, or I pasted some links that had good notes online that you should be able to use. So here's a 90-degree angle here. All right, which means that this 10 right here is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, sorry, this online pen is gonna take a minute to get used to. Hypotenuse, right? I'm not gonna spell the whole thing out. So knowing these things, I know that knowing the rules for a 30, 60, 90, 60, 90, I know that this is going to be 60, making this the middle length side. The hypotenuse is always the longest side, and the shortest side is going to be half of the hypotenuse because that's the rule for a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The shortest side is half the hypotenuse, or you could think of it as the hypotenuse is always double that, and the middle side is always the shorter side, 5 times root 3, right? So it could have been anything. We could change this. Let's see, let's change the color. Let's pretend we're doing a a different one. Okay, so same triangle, but let's pretend the shortest side is 7. That would make the hypotenuse 14, and that would make the middle side, or the Goldilocks side as I like to call it, 7, the shortest side, and then you just times root 3. Okay, so please look at those notes. I know you already have them in your notebook, or please reread those notes that I posted for you on the same slide. So let's keep going with this. Let's pick another one. Okay, this one doesn't have any angles. So this could possibly be a right triangle, but it might not. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's delete everything. Oh, or we could just add a page. That'll be better. Okay. So let's take a look at this one. We don't know if this is a right triangle. Remember, the instruction said that even if it looks like a right triangle, it might not be drawn. It might be drawn funny, right? So how do we check this? Well, an easy way to check it would be to check using the Pythagorean theorem. So if this is B, I always like to make A my smallest side, and C is 10. So we can just check it. So using the Pythagorean theorem, which is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. If my A is 6, then A squared is 6 times 6, which is 36. If my B is 8, that means B squared is 64. And if C is 10, that means C squared is 100. So we're asking ourselves, is this statement true? If this statement is true, then it is a right triangle. So you're asking yourself, is 36 plus 64 equal to 100? So let's see, let's add them up. Feel free to use your calculator. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry your 1, 9, 10. So that is true. So this is a right triangle. So this triangle is just going to go under the right triangle category. Okay, let's look at this one. This will be good to go over the rules for 45, 45, 90 triangle. Okay. All right. So I know that this is a 90. Whoops. I know that this is a 9. What's going on? Okay. This is going to drive me nuts. Oh, something's wrong. Oh, because I'm on this. Okay. I got it. I gotcha. I gotcha. I know that this is a 90-degree angle. And this side is 5. The hypotenuse is 5 times root 2. Well, that matches the rule for a 45, 45, 90 angle. The rule is these two sides are obviously the same, because if these angles are the same, then the sides are the same. So it's actually an isosceles right triangle. 45, 45, 90 triangles are isosceles right triangles. Those angles are the same. These sides are the same. And the hypotenuse is one of those sides times root 2. So again, we could change this to different numbers, and using the rule, we should be able to figure out. So if instead of 5, it was, I don't know, 23, then both of these sides would be 23, and the hypotenuse would be 23 times root 2. Easy as that, easy peasy. So this is a 45, 45, 90 triangle. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, let's check this one, because there's no angles here. So we're going to check it using the Pythagorean theorem. So the question is, if A is 3 and B is 4, then C is 5. That would make this our right angle, because the hypotenuse always has to be the longest side. So the question is, using Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared is a squared, which would be 3 times 3, so it'd be 9, plus b squared, which would be 4 times 4 is 16, is 9 plus 16 equal to 5 times 5, which is 25, and the answer is yes. 9 plus 16 is 25, so in that case, this is not that one. Where did it go? This one is a right triangle. How do you make them connect? Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Let's check this one. We have one side 8, one side 5, one side 9. Copy and paste it over. It's weird. Well, I guess we're not going to do this one. I'll have to draw it. We said that one side was 8, one side was 5, one side was 9. All right, pretend that this is a good drawing. Oh, I can't really erase just part of it. So we're just going to pretend here that we have a triangle without an extra, oops, piece of it. Darn it. Oh, I'm still erasing, Rachel. Okay, so 8, 5, 9. So let's check if A is 5, B is 8, C is 9, is A squared plus B squared equal to C squared. So 9 times 9 is 81, so C squared is going to be 81. B squared is going to be 64. A squared is going to be 25. So the question you're trying to ask yourself or answer for yourself is 25 plus 64 equal to 81. And 4 and 5 is 9. 6 and 2 is 8. Nope, it's equal to 89. So that triangle is none of those. It is not a right triangle. Okay. I'm going to do one more 30, 60, 90 for you and let you guys finish the rest of them. And this one looks like it is going to be a 30, 60, 90 because if my hypotenuse, which is across from my right angle, is 12, and the shortest side is 6, and we have a 90-degree angle, then it meets all the criteria, and this side would just be 6 root 2. Okay, because it's a right angle, and we could go through the same thing. We could say if A is 6, A squared would be 36 plus B squared equals 144, right? If we make that other side 6 root 2, which is what it would be in a 30, 60, 90 angle, then our B would be 6 root 2. And 6 root 2 squared, 6 root 2 times 6 root 2 is going to be 36 times 2, because the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is just 2, which is going to be 72. So we're looking at is, and you could just use the calculator for that, you guys, is 36 plus 72, 144. So let's see, 36, 72. which is only 108. So what did I do wrong? How many of you have been screaming at the screen that I did something wrong? And you figured it out before I did. The rule for 30, 60, 90 is not 6 root 2. That is the rule for the 45, 45, and 90. It's 6 root 3, which means we're looking at 36 times 3 instead of 2, which is 36 times 3. I'm using my calculator, which is 108. So I have 36 plus 108 is equal to 144. And that should be correct. Yes, that is correct. So my bad with that. And if I knew how to go back and erase that part of the video, I would, but you guys are just gonna have to realize that I went too fast and I was wrong. So this is a 30, 60, 90, and we were able to check it, but remember it's 6 root 3. And that goes there. So there's just a couple more you guys need to figure out, which I think you will be able to do. All right, thanks for watching this video, and please let me know if you have any more questions. And you can post them in the week 1 question section.